By far the coolest thing brought into Doom Eternal via its two-part DLC was the Wintherin, a dragon finally added into Doom. This was something that we never knew we wanted, but when we first saw what we thought was potentially a dragon boss way back before Doom Eternal's release in this screenshot here, I knew that some sort of dragon fight would have to be tucked away in Doom Eternal. Unfortunately, as the years passed, there was no dragon boss in sight, not even an enemy, but we got to ride on one in a cutscene. So, that's something, right? The name is FooSarr, and finally, I welcome you back to my FooCept series. In case you've forgotten, it's where I create brand new concepts for your favorite games that hopefully inspire you to become more creative yourself. And in this instance, we'll be unleashing the beast and creating the dragon fight that I personally always wanted in Doom Eternal. I present to you the Demonic Wintherin. Oh, and as always, if you plan to use my concept or any ideas that I create in these videos, please list clear credit to myself and any other creators that have contributed to the concept. Unlike any other demon in Doom Eternal, the Demonic Wintherin will be classed a stage above a super heavy, but just below a boss status, in a nice mini-boss tier instead. This would be Doom Eternal's first and likely only proper mini-boss. The Demonic Wintherin will be a dynamic boss fight that gives the power to the player on how they want to tackle this unique challenge. While not possessing distinct phases, it instead has a grounded moveset and a flight moveset. While the Wintherin is in the air, there is very little you can do in the ways of damaging it, but fortunately, you can ground it yourself, and even permanently, which I'll get into in just a moment. Each arena that has these Wintherin fights would require these special meat hook points, and put the platforming skills you have previously learned to good use. Using these meat hook points, you will be able to scale your way up to the top of each arena and mount the Wintherin. Once mounted, you will be able to perform a glory attack that will cut open the Wintherin's wings, forever keeping the beast grounded and unable to fly. Alternatively, you are also able to fire hundreds of bullets from your chain gun to damage the wings and have the Wintherin grounded as well. Either way that you decide to ground the Wintherin, you will now be able to deal some real damage. As soon as the Wintherin has recovered from plummeting down to the ground, it will let out a shriek which will buff all surrounding demons for the next 15 seconds, acting as a temporary buff totem. To counteract this, you must blood punch the Wintherin's throat twice to open way for another glory attack, this time ripping out its vocal cords. Getting behind the Demonic Wintherin is a safe way to avoid much of the damage and deal some yourself. However, the tail on the beast is your biggest threat. After dealing enough damage to the tail, it will glow red, signaling that you will then be able to chainsaw it off. In short, the Demonic Wintherin can be fought in a multitude of ways, with it possessing weak spots in its wings, neck, and tail. Each of these weak spots will drastically change the course of the fight, often in your favor. While airborne, the Demonic Wintherin will be able to droop down and breathe fire across a large portion of the arena, rendering it impassable without taking major damage. As it is circling around the arena, it will be able to shriek, as mentioned before, temporarily buffing demons for 15 seconds. Ultimately, while airborne, the Demonic Wintherin can't really do much directly to you, but it will make everything else on the ground extremely more difficult to deal with. Once you've brought the demon into its grounded moveset, its attacks change based on the distance to you, which yet again is another exploitable mechanic in this boss. A pattern that aims to teach the player how to distance themselves properly from more powerful foes. So at close range, it can spin around and try and hit you with its tail if you're too close. Additionally, at close range, it will be able to stomp down on the ground, causing you to stop momentum completely and stagger if you get hit by it as well. It will also be able to bite you and try and claw you, dealing, pretty big damage as you'd imagine. At a more medium to far distance, the Wintherin will hurl fire towards you, which if hit, will linger on you for about double the time regular fire damage does. Additionally, it will also stick to surfaces for about 10 seconds too, acting as a passive type of trap for a short time. At the same distance, the Wintherin will also be able to charge at you, dealing critical damage if hit. I mean to say, it's the equivalent of getting hit by a semi-trailer going at 200 kilometers per hour. It's gonna hurt quite a lot for anybody. Fortunately, this can be avoided by dashing or using the meat hook points in that special arena. Also at a medium to far range, it has this attack where it will be able to lift its head up and breathe fire that then rains down from the sky, turning into almost solid projectiles that plunge into the ground in random spots that explode after 5 seconds in the order that they landed. And finally, at a large distance away from the Demonic Wintherin, I thought it would be best to give it the same attack as one of my favorite bosses from Dark Souls 3, the Darkeater Midir laser beam. I'll just let the clip do the explaining. Ultimately, having a dragon fight within Doom Eternal as it currently stands is just a little tricky. So I tried to keep the new mechanics to a minimum, however, the glory attack mechanic just had to be there. Doom is full of gore and it just seems so right to have a gory fight against a bloody dragon. And I'm sure you wouldn't want it any other way either. Thinking about this FooCept from a developer's standpoint, it sounds like a nightmare to add to the game, and instead would likely be something for a new game altogether. Realistically, what I wanted to do with Demonic Wintherin is just have a cool-ass dragon fight. I wanted the dragon to swoop in and breathe fire everywhere, and for you to meat hook up it and, you know, punch it down to the ground in like a full-on cinematic thing, you know. I'm sure you can picture it in your head. You gotta picture it in your head. I can't draw these things, as you can see. But oh man, it just won't work in Doom Eternal, ever. Personally, that's just kind of like what I think a Demonic Wintherin fight would look like. And I know there's a lot more I could have done, but again, I was trying to limit myself, keep the mechanics to a bare minimum, and just kind of get it to work in Doom Eternal without changing too many things drastically. I think I failed, but I still think it's a cool idea and I wanted to share it with you guys regardless. So if you have a different idea or a different approach as to how you would tackle the Demonic Wintherin fight in Doom Eternal, would you make it a boss, would you make it a super heavy, or like me, would you make it a mini boss and fill in that weird gap in Doom Eternal that just kind of doesn't have mini bosses for some reason? Let me know in the comments below and I'm more than happy to start a discussion. Likewise, if you want to continue the discussion, hop on over to the FooFans Discord server, and I'm pretty much active all the time on there, so give me a ping in the FooCept chat just here, and yeah, I'd love to start a discussion based on your ideas. I think that'd be really, really cool. And if you don't have Discord, I will respond to your comments in the comments section. Thank you for watching to the end. Hopefully you didn't skip through either. YouTube is really mean to me if you do. Either way, please help support me and this channel by doing the usual necessities if you like the idea. I appreciate it as always. Always remember, the name is FooSarr, and by all means, stay creative.